So what are the biggest mistakes people make with lead generation? And why does lead generation fail? And it's really critical that you understand this step, because what can often happen is, you'll get a program and you'll learn all this useful information about lead generation. Then you'll try something and it won't work. And the tendency is, as soon as it doesn't work, is to throw the baby out with the bathwater and just go, forget it. It's not worth the effort. But really, when you think about it, if it was a piece of cake to build a really successful business which makes a ton of money, then everyone would be doing it. But the reality is only a very small percentage of people are doing it. And there's a reason for that, because it does take work, and it does, often take some trial and error in the process. Once you understand this, and you understand that sometimes you'll do something, and you should expect to sometimes do a lead generation campaign and have it fail, and that's okay. It's part of the process. Just the same as if you were learning to drive, you would expect not to be perfect at the same time. If you're learning to ride a bike, if you can think back to when you were a kid and you were learning to ride a bike, you probably fell off a few times. You probably hurt yourself. You probably got a little scar on your knee and thought, this is tough. Well, most likely it's going to be the same case with lead generation. However, eventually, if you keep on keeping on, you fall off the bike, 6, 10, 12 times. Eventually you'll come to a stage where you fall off less, and then you fall off a little bit less, and then you can drive a bit faster, and a bit faster, and a bit faster. And all of a sudden, you can ride your bike with no hands while you're reading a book. Well, that might be a bit far-fetched, but you know what I mean. You can do it, very, very easily. So you go from a stage with any learning. There's really 4 stages you're going to go through. And the first one is being unconscious that you're incompetent. So that's the first stage. Is you're unconscious that you're incompetent. You're just not aware of it. So you're unconscious that you're incompetent. The next stage, so you think, I'm going to be really, really good at this. And the next stage is you fall off your bike and you become conscious that you're incompetent. You all of a sudden realise, hey, I'm not as great as I thought I was at this. You run an ad, and the ad flops like a dead fish, and you go, maybe I'm not the genius that I thought I was. This was certainly the case, when I first got started in business. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, and then I realised I became conscious that I was incompetent. And then the next stage you get to is you become consciously, so you become conscious of your competence. So all of a sudden you can do it, but you really need to think about it. It's sort of like when you drive a car and you move it from the park, and you really focus on moving it from the park to the drive, and you really focus on putting your foot down so that you do it right and that sort of thing. So you're consciously competent, and then you eventually get to the stage where you're unconsciously competent. And the unconscious competent is when you can drive your car and you're driving for 20 minutes and you completely forget what happened in the last 20 minutes because you just do it with such a flow and with such an ease, and you eventually get to that stage of unconscious competence. So with that being said, let's look at and understanding that if you can get over this stage, and even if, let's just imagine, let's play a hypothetical scenario out, and you fail 5 times. You run 5 ads, and you fail 5 times. Let's say you've got you build swimming pools or something. So you run these 5 ads, and they generate nothing for you, and you spend $300 on each ad. So you spend $300, so you've lost $1,500, and the pain's setting in. You're thinking, gee, something's going wrong here. And then you think, hang on a second. What I'm going to do here is I am going to run a different type of ad. So you try a different type of ad, and you put another $300 into it. But all of a sudden, that $300 ad brings you a $2,000 profit. And we're talking pool companies, so the numbers might be slightly different, it might be slightly bigger profit margins or whatever, but you get what I mean. So all of a sudden you've got this $300 ad. Now it's bringing you $2,000 profits. Now you spent $1,500, you spent $1,800, but you got $2,000 back, so you've made $200. But what do we know? We know the 80-20 rule's playing out here, and one of the 6 ads is the one that bring in the $2,000 profit. But what can we do? Which ad are we going to run next? We're going to run the 6th ad because that's the one that bring in the profit. And how many times can you run that ad? Well, you can run it over and over and over again. And that's really the power of this whole process. Is once you've got this winning ad, you can continue to run it week in and week out. So all of a sudden, and then imagine you run that, the next time you run it, you make $2,000 profit. The next time you run it, you make $2,000 profit. The next time you run it, you make $2,000 profit. All of a sudden, you've got a money-making machine with that lead generation process. But you had to stumble to get there, and that's part of the journey.
To help you get more customers, I'm giving away a free gift to everyone who watches this video. It's a brand new guide called 7 Ways to Get More Traffic and Customers, which includes a swag of cheat sheets for getting results fast. Download it for free by clicking the link in the description below this video or visiting moretrafficandcustomers.com.